I have student loans that total just over $1 million.
You're kidding me.
And
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we are diving deep into something that's affecting so many people right now. And honestly, it's terrifying. We are talking about the credit card debt. Not just a little debt, I'm talking about the kind that keeps you up at night, the kind that snowballs until you're drowning and can't see a way out. If you felt like that, your money disappears before it even touches your hand, or you're using one card to pay off another, this video is definitely for you. So I put the videos together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my.
I have student loans that total just over $1 million.
You're kidding me.
And no, sir.
What were you thinking?
And, well, I wasn't thinking clearly. I've sat down and calculated my interest rates, and my interest is about $5,800 a month. So my fiance and I were trying to decide what's the best way to try to attack this.
When are you getting married?
April.
Okay. And what will you be making as an orthodontist?
About 250.
Okay. And what does she do and what will she be making?
We actually just opened up an office, and she works in the office, so she's not taking any income out of the office.
Okay. This is such an extreme situation. Your income is extreme and your debt is extreme, that you have to be very, very careful to just act like you're a broke college student because you are a broke orthodontist.
Right.
And so that means you guys aren't going on vacations. You're not buying a house. You're not leasing a new BMW. You're not going to a restaurant. You have $1 million. I can't even say it out loud. I can't breathe. $1 million in student loan debt. It gives me an anxiety attack, and it's not even my debt. But the horrible news is that ridiculous figure. The wonderful news is you have great income potential and a great income right now. So you cannot relax.
Right. So
you have to cut as deeply as you can cut.
Right.
And so be dialing your taxes in. I don't want you to get behind on taxes, but other than taxes and food and water and electricity, I really want everything else just going on student loan debt. The good news is you've got a great shovel and you have a great bright future with your income potential. And, that gets you out of this. It's not a reason to get into it, but it does get you out of it. It gives you hope for your future.
I recently went viral for having $30,000 in credit card debt, and it even got picked up by Newsweek. There was an article featuring my credit card debt. And throughout the comments, a lot of people have been recommending different, financial gurus. And of course, people have been recommending Dave Ramsey. So here is why I do not subscribe to Dave Ramsey's snowball effect and his approach in general. So for starters, the entire premise of his plan hinges on having extra money to put towards. So you pay off everything. You pay your bills, you pay all your credit cards, you pay all your debts, and then any extra money you have, stop right there. Who the fuck has extra money? So then he's like, aha, yes, if you don't have extra money, get a second job, get a third job, eat rice and beans. That's actually something I joined a Dave Ramsey private Facebook group. People all the time reference rice and beans. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to do anything to get out of debt. I'm not willing to eat rice and beans every day. I'm not willing to have 3 jobs and not spend time with my children. I'm not willing to forego my favorite salad on a Friday when I feel like getting one. My bills and my debt is so tremendous that $20 here, $100 there is not making an impact. The cost of living and low wages is to blame for the financial woes of most Americans. And being told that we can incrementally make these big differences if we just give up our quality of life for 5-10 years is absurd. I turned my $30,000 in credit card loans into a loan consolidation with an 8% interest rate. We're paying about $1,500 a month to pay that off. And it's painful because every month I'm like, wow, what could we have done with that $1,500? But I am not willing to eat rice and beans. I am not willing to have a night job. My mental health and my quality of life is more important to me than paying off that debt. And that doesn't make...
I'm 23 years old and I'm in $246,000 worth of debt. Let's talk about it. The vast majority of that debt comes from my home loan. I closed on my home right after my 21st birthday, so I haven't paid down very much of that yet. I also have student loans, a car loan, and then I have one credit card, and I have my timeshare. Before anyone says anything about it, I know the timeshare was a bad idea. I can't get out of it now until it's paid off. But I am working on getting all my debt paid off. So if you want to see that journey, come along with me. I work several side hustles. I have a full-time job, and then I also I Instacart. I am a travel agent, and I work at a gas station. All of that to try to get my debt paid down. My goal for this year is to pay off my remaining credit card. That card has about $3,800 left on it. If I continue at my current pace, I'll have it paid down by the end of the summer. So feel free to join me here. I am not silly enough to think that I'm going to make money off of TikTok to pay off my debt, but I do want to document my journey just to see how far I've come as I get some of this stuff paid down. I made a decision last August that I was going to change my life for the better and stop going farther into debt and get debt paid off. I just paid off one of my credit cards and now I'm paying off the other one.
I have currently about $430,000 in student loans.
Good Lord.
Yes, I was in medical school. I had failed 2 sets of boards after 3 years and then was recently dismissed. And so about 80 of that, 80,000 is from undergrad, and then other courses later on to get into medical school, and the remainder is from medical school. But right now I have the debt, but no degree that I was planning to use to actually be able to pay that back. So at this point, I don't really know what my options are to try to dig out of this.
You're right. That's a mess. I'm so sorry. That's scary.
It is.
Yeah. How did you get that far into it and then not be able to pass the boards?
I actually did fairly well during the first 2 years, but it was just, I think, being able to, I guess it was one thing to take an exam every few weeks or every month, but being able to retain that and then to recall it to the level of detail that I needed for the exams. I just couldn't put it all together at the end.
Is there any way you can re-engage and still have a shot at finishing?
Not without having to reapply and then go through the process all over again. And also have to take out more loans.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. What are your when did you flunk the last one?
That was this past spring, and so I was let go this summer.
Okay. So what since then? What has been your plan?
Well, I've basically just been getting by. I was able to find a job, first of all, as a substitute teacher, and I was hired as a high school biology teacher. But my loans are on deferment right now, and I have some forbearance to go. But at this point, I'm not sure any of the other career options. I've thought about, physician assistant, other programs like that, but it requires going into more debt. Because I'm not in a position where I could work and then pay as I go. Plus pay off the current, the loans I've got now too.
Yeah. So what would it take to be a PA from where you are?
I would have to take about another year of classes. I would have to take some other entrance classes, and then 2.5 years for the program itself.
Wow.
And then and that's probably at least another $60,000 to $70,000 in tuition and living expenses.
What about nursing?
It's my undergraduate degree was in biology, and then I did pre-med.
And so none of the med school work you've done applies to anything else.
No, none of it. I have the debt, but none of the courses, none of it actually I can transfer to anything.
Wow. Well, I mean, the only thing I know to tell you is to try to assess some kind of a career, and that's what I'm poking at here. I don't know enough about that world to try to help you, but we obviously need to get to the point that we're making some good money to begin to pay this through, right? And so I want to lead you towards something that's six figures to try to plow through this with, and or get on maybe with some kind of a hospital type of a company that would do some student loan pay for you as part of your signing bonus, that kind of a thing. Obviously, you're not going to be doing that as an MD, but the PA idea is a good idea, something around the biology or medical field, but I want to move you well beyond high school biology teacher to pay off $430,000 in debt, right?
Exactly. And the other issue, I mean, right now, I'm 34 years old, and so I have all this debt and I have an emergency fund, but no retirement savings, nothing at all. So I don't know.
Well, I'm not worried about that until we address your income. Okay. We got to address your career track, which gets you to your income, which solves the debt problem and then solves the retirement problem. I'm not in a panic about that today. I mean, if you were 66, I might be, but you're not. You got time to work through that. You've just got to reset here and land on your feet from a career standpoint and find something that you can use this biology and medical aptitude that you have, short of MD, to try to get some income coming in. James, that's all I know to tell you, man. I'm sorry you're facing this.
That's a video, guys. So I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. Okay, insane credit card debt. It's wild how normalized debt has become. You walk into a store, they're offering you a store credit card before you even finish your purchase. People are using credit cards not for luxuries, but for absolute necessities. Food, gas, rent, that's how bad things have gotten. And it's not because people are irresponsible, it's because the cost of living is rising while wages are stagnant. And credit card is now being used as a lifeline instead of convenience. What makes this state so dangerous is how silent it is. It builds up slowly, a swipe here, a change there. You tell yourself you'll pay it off next month, but next month comes with more bills, more expected expenses. Suddenly, you're only able to afford the minimum payment. And that's a minimum. It's designed to keep you in debt longer. Credit card companies make money off interest. The longer you're stuck, the more they profit. It's a system that thrives on the struggling. And let's talk about interest rate. Some people are paying off a pizza they bought last year. Lately, they how high the interest can get. You think you're borrowing a small amount, but if you can't pay it back immediately, that amount multiplies. What started as a $200 emergency car repair into an $800 problem over time. It's financial quicksand. The more you struggle to get out, the deeper you sink. A lot of people feel shame about being in debt, and that shame keeps them silent. They don't talk about it, they don't ask for help, they just keep sinking, and that's how crazy how many people you meet friends, co workers, even successful looking professionals who are all in the same boat but suffering quietly. Everyone pretending they're okay, but behind the scenes, they're struggling, bills, dodging collection, calls, living in constant financial anxiety. Social media doesn't help people. People feel pressure to keep up appearances. You see someone going on a vacation or buying a new clothes and you think they're doing great, but often it's credit cards funding those highlights reels. People are indeed trying to look like they are not. It's a vicious circle and it's messing with our mental health in ways we don't even fully understand it yet. And you know what? Even worse, the fact that financial literacy is not taught in most schools. Nobody teaches you how credit card works, how compound interest can work against you, or how to budget realistically. We're expected to just figure it out as adults. Meanwhile, banks and lenders are out here setting traps with fine print and hidden fees. It's like giving someone the keys to a car with no driving license and then blaming them when they crash. So many people are being denied basic peace of mind. That waking up every day stressed, going to bed with anxiety, and constantly feeling like that behind. That kind of stress doesn't just affect your wallet, it affects your relationship, your healthy, your sense of self-worth. People feel like failures because they can't get ahead. But how can anyone get ahead when the system is rigged to keep you behind? And then there's emotional side of it. You start feeling like you're never going to catch up, that you're stuck, that maybe you deserve to be stuck. It's heartbreaking because no one deserves the kind of mental torture just for trying to survive. No, I'm not here just to rant. I'm here because we need to start having real conversation about this. If you are in debt, you're not alone. You're not stupid. You're not lazy. You're living a system that benefit from your struggle. But there are ways to fight back, starting with awareness, talking about it, budgeting if it's uncomfortable, looking into debt consolidation, negotiating with lenders, find desired income, and mostly importantly, being gentle with yourself. This credit debt is crisis is more than just numbers. It's a reflection of how many people are suffering in silence. And it's time to stop pretending everything is okay when it's not. You don't have to buy into the lie that having more things makes you vulnerable. Your worth is not tied to your wallet. And financial freedom might feel fear off, but every small step you take brings you closer to it. So if you think of it right now, I just want to say don't give up. Don't let shame keep you stuck. You deserve peace. You deserve freedom. And no amount of debt defines your future. Let's keep talking about the real things, okay? So don't even be feeling bad about it. If you want to open up to a friend, just go open up and just vent on it. It's very, very important. Okay. Everyone is in debt at this point, like a lot of people. If we put people here, 100 people, almost 90% are in debt. Okay, so don't feel like you're the only one. Sometimes, things just get hard and you have no other option rather than going into debt. Okay, so you just have to find a good plan on how you're going to pay that. And a lot of people now that are trapped with student loans because when you're young, you don't know the consequences of these student loans. And most of the people, because we believe in this American dream where we need to work hard, we need to have all these things for you to be a better person. You need to buy a house. People are even going into debt in the credit card because they wanted to buy a house. Okay, they wanted to live the American dream. So a lot of people now are regretting, like, why did I get all that money for? Like this video which I saw, it was so insane. $1 million debt for student loans. That's insane. And how is this person going to pay it? Like they're having a very hard time with the girlfriend so that they make everything together, and still you have to pay it on, you have to pay for the house, you have to pay for electricity. Like life is not easy when you have credit with people. Okay, and you have to you have to stay strong for yourself because you know that the system has really failed you as a person. And people now, I think they're waking up about these student loans, getting loans so that you get educated and you start paying off. This is like a prison. Someone is just putting you in a prison for it because at the end of the day, when you finish, you start work, you start paying back. That's a lot of money for you to pay back because even the jobs which are there, they don't pay so much. Okay, so you have to be very careful if you're deciding to get the student loans, and you need to have proper knowledge about it. I think people need to learn the consequences of getting these student loans. I think people are just getting because they're excited, they want to go to college. After college, they believe they're going to find a jobs, and the job market now is very hard. Like it's trash. People are having a time to um get jobs, which is not very easy. And think about it, you have student loan, you don't have a job, there are a lot of layoffs, a lot of people are being laid off. And what are you going to do as a person? And some people have not even started working. This is when they start the job chasing. So like it's not very easy for people like to make it outside. As much as we are living, it's not that easy world at this point. Okay, everything has gone up. The groceries are very expensive, and all these things. Okay, and the economy is so strained. Like you can't you can't survive. You barely survive. People have been failing to breathe at this point. So guys, that's a video for today. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next episode.